This is my herpes story time. There's some text messages at the end that I want to show y'all, so I'll pop them up like over here. That's why the laptop is there, so that I'm using the phone to record, so I'm gonna need the laptop to bring up the messages, pull them up. But basically, I'm gonna start it off with how it happened. Okay, so I was at my cousin's house one night, and we had got into an argument, and she had kicked me out. Like, she had told me leave. So at first, I'm stubborn. I was not gonna leave, but I'm not gonna stay nowhere where I'm not wanted. So I had ended up leaving, and I had called the dude that I was messing with for over the 2 years. I had called him and told him come get me. So he came and got me, and I remember he came and got me, and we had watched movies, smoked, and did the do. The next day, I had, like, on my way home, like in the morning, I had threw up. Like, I had to open up the car window and then throw up. So I'm like, okay. And the throw up, it was weird. Like, it was white, weird looking. So I'm like, okay, what is this? So I went home. The rest of the day, I just forgot about it because I felt perfectly fine. Like, it didn't seem like anything was wrong with me. Like, I felt fine, like a normal person. But the next morning when I had woke up, I had felt weak. Like, I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. I had felt really freaking weak. I couldn't get out of bed without, like, my legs shaking. Like, I just felt so weak. Like, something was not right with my body. So eventually I got up and I went to the restroom, and I looked down there, and it's like I had wiped first, and I felt a sting, like a and I'm like, okay, what was that? So I had took my phone, and I had, like, y'all know how we open up our legs to see what's, like, to look down there. That's what I had did with the phone. And I looked down there, and it looks like a pimple. Also, when I peed, it was like a STI. Like, a STI is a sexual transmitted infection. It was like a sting when I peed, and I'm like, okay. So I had went in there, and I had told my mom. At the time, I used to lie to her about me being a virgin, because y'all know, when we're young, we don't know how our moms are gonna react to things, so we don't want them to, I don't know, I just didn't want to say, yeah, I've been having sex. So I kind of just was like, oh yeah, I let somebody give me head for the first time, and that was that. And so she was like, okay, we need to go to the hospital. So we went to the ER. They checked me. So the doctor had me, this was the procedure, he had had me take off my clothes, and then he had gave me the white and blue wrap that you, like, put on your clothes, like, to put on so that you're not naked. So I put that on, and so he took, like, this little swab stick, and he had, like, stuck it all the way up there, moved it around to make sure he got, like, a substance to test. And then that's when he had took some more Q-tips, and he, like, pushed the pimple to get something out of it. But then after he got something out of it, he was like, oh, it's 99% sure a pimple. It has to be, because we got things out of it. So I'm like, oh, okay, it's a pimple. Like, it gave me faith that it was a pimple. Like, it gave me hope that I didn't have anything too major. So after that, I went back home. The doctor basically said that if they give me a call in 3 days, it's herpes. But if they don't give me a call, then I'm fine. I'll be perfectly fine. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna cry, I'm getting emotional already. So I had went home. The next couple days were mad hard. Like, I didn't want to eat anything. I was sad, but I tried to forget about it, because I had already prayed about it. Like, I had already talked to God, tried to make sure that I was gonna be okay. But the third day came, my sister had came over, and when she came over, I thought of it just as, oh, okay, she probably just over here to go with us to the hair store. So I asked her, I was like, we're in the car talking, by the way, and I'm like, oh, are you coming to the hair store with me and mom? She's like, oh no. And I'm like, oh, okay, she probably just came to visit for a little bit, because she lived there. She probably just coming to visit. So I had go to the house. I went in the house. I had went to the bathroom so that I could shower and get ready to go to the supply store. On the way to the, cause you know, y'all know when y'all sad and y'all mom be like, you wanna go get some hair? Like, oh, you wanna go shopping? That's what it was. Like, she just wanted to make me feel better, because them 2 days I was sad. Like, I didn't want to do anything. Like, I was so sad because I was just scared. Like, oh, would it come out positive? So she had asked me if I wanted to go. So I'm getting in the shower. You know, I'm about to go to the supply store. And that's when I had got out the shower, went to my room, and I still had my towel on. I was still dripping wet. And my mom was basically like, hey, Jordan, like, oh, my mom and my sister came in right after I had got out the shower. So the towel is still on. I'm dripping wet. Like, haven't even put on my clothes yet. They come in there, and I'm looking like, hey, like, and they're like, my mom said something first. She's like, Jordan, the test came back. And you know, y'all know when, like, you don't want to believe it, so you tell yourself, like, oh, like, you just try to play dumb. That's what I did. I was like, okay, what did it say? Like, just trying to have hope, I guess. And she was just basically like, it came back positive. And I just remember crying. Like, I was crying so hard, because like, nobody wants to hear that they have a disease. Nobody does. So it was so hard. Like, I just remember I was crying. And society has this stigma that you're dirty, you're a whore, you're nasty, you're just disgusting if you have it. So, and I just started crying. I was just like, I'm disgusting, like, I'm dirty, I'm nasty, like, I used to be perfect. Like, yes, y'all, like, I guess I always want to be perfect. And when it came back, and I just felt not me. Like, I was just so sad. And my mom started crying too. And as I seen her cry, it made me cry even harder, because I felt like I was a disappointment. Like, I feel like I disappointed her. So I started crying even harder. My sister had hugged me, and she was like, it's fine, like, we're gonna get through it, don't worry, like, it's okay. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I had calmed down eventually. I put my clothes on, and we had went to the hair store. My sister had left, so she didn't go with me and my mom. But since it was just me and my mom, I feel like that was the time to talk to her about stuff. So I asked her, I was like, Mom, why did you cry? Like, is it because you're disappointed in me type? And she was like, because I just don't want to see you hurt. And I was just crying, like, oh, okay, because I thought it was from disappointment. But so after that, we had went to the hair store. Oh, and I also was like, as we're in the hair store, I was like, can't believe I have HIV. And my mom looked at me, and she was like, girl, you ain't got no HIV. And I'm like, so what's HIV? And she's like, you have herpes. HIV is AIDS. So I'm like, oh, that's the biggest sign. Like, that was the biggest whoa moment for me to realize we don't know shit about shit for real until we get it. Like, no cap. I was dead thinking, like, no funny shit, I thought that I had it. Like, I can't believe I didn't know the difference between those things. Like, it was just so crazy. Like, I can't believe I didn't know the difference between them. So we had went home. The next day came, and she had scheduled an appointment for me so that I can get my medication and whatnot that I needed to heal. So when I went in there, they basically gave me these. Now, these get rid of the outbreak. These are the bigger pair. These are the ones that they give you so that you don't have, like, so that you don't get outbreaks. So, like, if you keep up with your medication on these, you won't get outbreaks. Don't want it to fall. if you keep up on these are like the 5 tablets, take 1 a day for 5 days. So this was what healed me the very first outbreak. This is what healed me quicker than those. Like, these are just the smaller ones that they give you. I'm gonna show y'all both of them. So these are basically the fatter white pills that they give you so that you don't so that it heals the very first outbreak. They say the very first outbreak is the worst. That's why it's so fat, so it can get rid of it. So after they gave me these, they just talked to me about, like, do I want to be on birth control? Is there anything that I need to be telling them? Have I been having sex? Anything like that. Like, you know, just a regular checkup. Like, is your pH off? Anything like that. Just a regular checkup. These are the pills that they give you. It's a smaller one. This is what they give you so that, like, you take it, like, it's 30 capsules. You have to take it each day. If you take these each day, you won't have an outbreak. And without an outbreak, it cannot be contagious. So I just kept up on these and, like, kept myself clean or whatnot. After that, I was so emotional that day at the doctor's appointment too, because it's like weird. Like, I don't know, I just didn't want doctors to see that I had herpes, I guess. Like, I didn't want them to be like, oh yeah, this girl got herpes. Because as I was reading, like, herpes, like, story times on YouTube, they would say, like, doctors would treat them bad when they went to the doctor. They would treat them like they're disgusting. But the doctors that I went to, they were so nice. Like, they reassured me. Like, we had 5 people coming here today. We have to tell 5 people that they had herpes today. Like, it's okay. Like, it's normal. This is a very common thing. And in my head, I'm just thinking, if this is so common, why don't anybody talk about it? Like, why does everybody just... Society has a stigma, and it makes people embarrassed. It makes people uncomfortable in their own skin just to talk about it. And the more we don't talk about it, it's why it spreads. It's because nobody wants to bring out their story. Nobody wants to say, I have herpes. Okay, now I know how to move with you. Now I know what to do and what not to do with you. But no, y'all make it people scared to come out and talk about it, and that's why it spreads around so easily. It's because y'all don't let people feel comfortable in their own skin enough to talk about it. But after they had told me that, it kind of like chilled me. Like, it kind of like gave me, I felt like a human. I felt normal again. Because now I know I'm not the only one that has this. It's not 3 people in the world that has it. It's 195 million people in the world that has it. So it's kind of just like, okay, now I don't feel like a black sheep full of white sheep. Like, now I don't feel like the black sheep in a crowd full of white sheep. Like, now I feel comfortable. So the rest of the time I was like steady. I didn't cry. I was fine. So the next days went on. Yes, I was taking the bigger ones to hurry up and heal it, but it didn't heal as fast as I wanted it to. So I still had stuff to do. So me and my mom the next day, we had went to Burlington to do school shopping, because this was around like in August, September. So it was hot outside and it was about to start going back to school. So we was doing school shopping, and I remember when I was walking in the store, I had to keep shifting my pants, like, because I could not walk. Like, it kept rubbing up against it. Mind you, this is like a day after. It keeps rubbing up against it, and I feel a sting every time it does. So I'm trying to fix my walk. I'm trying to maneuver my pants, like anything to make the sting go away. And my mom was like, I guess she peeped it, and she's like, Jordan, if you need to go sit in the car, go sit in the car. Like, go sit in the car. If it's that bad, you need to go sit in the car. So I'm like, nah, I'm good. I could do it. Like, it's nothing. So I just keep walking around the store, and eventually it gets so bad to the point where, like, I had to go sit in the car. So I give in and I go sit in the car. And as I'm sitting in the car, I'm like trying to help myself out, like move my pants, anything to help me out. I'm putting my hand down there, backing my pants up from my cooch, like I'm doing anything to stop it from touching it. So after that, I had went home, and my mom had came out to the car, you know, she took everybody home, and then that's when she had to go to work. So as she's at work, I'm laying in her bed because I couldn't sleep in mine. I was just too sad to sleep in my bed. Like, it was too many, I don't know, I just didn't want to be in there. It felt dark. So I was sleeping in my mom's bed, and I'm in pain. Like, I don't know, like, I'm trying to anything. Like, it was so painful. Like, I just remember calling her, and I was crying, and I was just like, I can't do this. Like, I'm in so much pain. I can't do it. And she's like, I'm gonna call Sharice. Sharice gonna come. She's gonna take you up to the ER. Sharice is my older sister. So she comes and gets me, and we go up to the ER. And mind y'all, not only that, but when I was in the bathroom, I noticed a green substance coming out of the pimple. So I'm like, what is this? Like, puss? No, I don't have no herpes. So in my head, I'm like, okay, they diagnosed me wrong, gave me the wrong medication, and it just made the pimple get worse and worse and worse. That's what I was thinking. So as I go in there, I'm like, y'all diagnosed me wrong. And she's like, what did they diagnose you with? Mind you, I don't want to say I have herpes. I'm 17. I was like, I don't know. In my mindset, I don't want nobody to know that. Like, ew. So I'm like, STD. Like, and she's like, okay, well, we're just going to have you take a seat, and the doctor's going to come back and get you. So I'm like, okay. So she came and got me. She took me to the back room, and she had me, like, take off my shirt and my pants, gave me a whistling, put it on. Then they had me, like, sit on the thing, open my legs, and they, like, look down there. Like, she moved the, like, she used her gloves and just went like that, like, looked in there. And she was like, oh, sweetie, like, you do have it. It's just like now the sore is open. I said, but I'm taking medication to heal it. And she was like, yeah, it's healing, but it gets worse first, then it gets better. And I'm like, oh, okay. She goes, yeah. So this is the process that it goes in. So first it's gonna get worse. Like, the cut gets open, the pimple opens. After it opens, it'll heal slowly, and then that's when a crust will cover it. Like, it gets covered in crust, and then that's when the crust eventually falls off, and it's a heal. So I was like, that's what she explained to me, and I'm like, okay. Made me cry again, because now I can't be in denial. It's like, now I can't be in denial. It's like, it's really there. It's like, I have herpes, and that's that. So I started crying. We ended up leaving the hospital. My sister was like, do you want to come stay with me? And I had went to go stay with her. Also, I forgot to mention, during the days that after I had found out, them nights were the hardest nights ever. Nobody talks about the depression that comes with herpes. Nobody talks about it. I was so depressed. I couldn't eat. I wouldn't get out of bed. I would lay in my room in the dark and be depressed. Like, I didn't want to shower. I didn't want to change. Didn't want to do my makeup. Didn't want to do my hair. Like, I sat in there in dirty ass clothes and soaked in shame and depression. Like, I was sad in the dark. 25/8. I would not come out my room unless I really had to pee, which I didn't even like peeing, because now that it was an open sore, it stung like so bad. It stung so bad. So now that I had mentioned that also led up to me going to go live with my sister, because I couldn't be at my house. Like, in my room, I was too sad. Like, I could only sleep in my mom's room. That room was so depressing. And also, I had tried to cut my wrist. That happened as well. Like, all them nights in that depression ass room, like, all them nights in that room that I was depressed, I didn't feel like myself at all. I would never want to go back to that state. because I was also lonely. Like, I had cut all my friends off because I felt like, okay, I have this situation. I can't talk to them about this situation. I feel like they're too childish for this situation. So maybe they should not be in my circle. That's how I had just cut all ties. Like, I was just tieless. Like, no ties. Like, I had cut everybody off. Wasn't speaking to anyone. My phone was not, like, I didn't pick up my phone at all in that dark ass room. Like, I was just so depressed. So I had went to the kitchen, got a knife, and tried to slit my wrist. And as I'm trying to slit my wrist, I just couldn't do it. Like, something. It was hard to slit my wrist. I couldn't do it. I guess, like, I'm too prissy. And I didn't want to cut my skin. But it was just harder than... It was hard. Like, I was just... So many thoughts was going through my head as that knife was pressing against the skin of my wrist. Like, I was devastated. And I didn't even... Like, mind you, I haven't even talked to the dude yet. Because the doctor had said... It could be 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. It could pop up at any time of the year. And yeah, we was messing with each other for 2 years, but them was off and on. Them 2 years, it was off and on. Like, I would still mess with other people. So if it could pop up at any time of the year, I don't want to tell somebody that I have it and them not have it. I guess that was in my head. So I had took the knife to my mom. And I had, like, gave it to her, and I just cried in her lap. Like, I remember I was crying so hard. And she was like, we don't do that. Like, you don't take yourself out. No, you take the that gave it to you out. Like, you take the person that made you feel like you needed to take yourself. You take them. And I was like, okay. So she just, you know, cheered me up. She was like, you so crazy. Like, it's okay. Relax. It's not the end of the world, Jordan. Like, it's going to be fine. And I was like, okay. So back to me and my sister at the hospital when she asked me to come live with her. It was like, hecky yeah. Like, I'm sad. Like, I don't want to be at my house. I need a distraction. Like, I don't want to be in them situations no more. Like, I don't want to feel sad. I don't want to feel dirty in my room anymore. So when I had went to her house, we had stopped at my house, got clothes and stuff so I could stay at her house for the week that I was healing. Like, I did stay at her house that whole week until I healed fully up. Like, until all of the capsules were gone, I just stayed at her house. So that was about 5 days to a week. Like, a week, like a full week, yeah. It was probably like 7 days, yeah, a week. So, them whole 7 days that I was at her house, I was just healing, and healing. Like, I was trying to get closer with God. I would, like, she had got me this book that I could write in, and I was watching Bible sermons, and anything I felt like was for me, I wrote it down. Like, I was just trying to get closer to God, because I felt like, okay, I'm Christian, but I wasn't acting like a Christian. I was having sex at 17. Maybe this is his punishment for having sex and lying to my mom about it. Like, maybe he was just like, okay, there goes your HSV. Like, there you go. HSV is also herpes simplex virus. It's the real name of it, but people just call it herpes for short. So, like, here you go. There goes a little disease. You want to lie? You want to be grown? You want to have sex at 17? There you go. So I was like, okay, maybe this is me. Like, I need to get closer with God. Like, I just need him to heal me. Like, I need God in my life, basically. So I would just read Bible sermons, keep writing in that journal. I would write my thoughts in that journal. Like, that journal was like my best friend during this time at her house. Like, I used all her highlighters. I highlighted stuff. Like, that journal, I wish I had it so I could show y'all it. Like, I did. Like, it's like heavy pages of me just writing, talking to God, and like anything I feel like God needed to say to me. So I couldn't eat also at her house. Like, I still wouldn't eat. Even though, like, I was out of my house, I still couldn't bring myself to eat because, of course, depression. I felt disgusting at that. So when you feel disgusting, I don't know, I just didn't feel like me. So I just felt like I didn't deserve to eat. Like, I felt so trifling. Like, I couldn't eat. I couldn't do anything. So, which is because of the society make it seem like that. I can't wait till I get to the end of this video so I can share my real thoughts. But so I was like, okay. I just was taking baths, soaking in baths for about like 15 minutes each day to heal faster, because they say that helps heal the outbreak even faster. Still couldn't eat, but one time she dead made me, like, one day she was like, Jordan, no more of this. Sit down, eat these chicken nuggets. And I tried to fake like I was eating it, but she made me, like, she dead sat there eating. So I had ate, and I was good, and it was just on to the next. So the next day, I was like, I would just do that all the time. Write in my Bible sermon, take a bath, eat. Take a bath, eat, all of that. Eventually, I felt like, okay, I got a little better at her house, so I could pick up my phone and I could talk to people. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to call him, and I'm going to just say it. Like, even though I'm not, I'm going to say it. So I like called him, and the whole time I was stuttering, like I was shaking. I couldn't say I have herpes, blank. I had herpes. I could not say it. Like, something in me would not say it. So, and it's not very easy to say you have herpes. Like, especially when you're 17. My mind was not developed. Like, having herpes definitely made me mature. Like, it definitely opened my eyes to a lot of stuff. And that was something that I regret. Like, I really wish I would have trusted my gut and was just like, yeah, it's him, girl. Yes, like, it's him. Like, he the one who did this to you. He gave it to you. Because honestly, I would have treated his shit. But his response was, you so fucking stupid, and hung up the phone because I couldn't get it out. Like, I guess I was taking too long. So he had hung up. And I just remember crying again, like crying so hard. Like, are you serious? Like, now I'm extra lonely. Like, now I feel like I had nobody. Even though my mom knew, she didn't know the full truth. She didn't know the full truth about, like, all the, like, that I had told her I only had head. She didn't know the full truth yet. So I had called the dude, you know, he gave me that response. I'm crying on the couch at my sister's, like, house now. Like, I'm crying on the couch because it's nighttime now. I'm about to go to sleep. I'm crying. She came in there and she had heard me, so she had just held me until I fell asleep. And she was just a big help. She really was there. Like, I'm glad I had her, because honestly, she was a big help. She was a big help. Thank goodness for her, because honestly, she was a big help. Like, honestly. So, after that, I had took another bath. Like, it was like a 15-minute bath again. And as I'm in there, I'm still watching my Bible sermon videos and writing down, like, what I feel like is needed to be said. And something told me, you're not going to be fully healed. You're not going to be fully pure again until you tell your mom what you've really been up to. So I had, like, told my God, I was like, God, give me a sign if you want me to tell her. Like, give me a sign if this is really what's going to help me get right with you. Like, if this is what you need me to do to get right with you again, I'll do it. Like, just give me a sign that this is what you need me to do. So right after I said that, like, if you want me to tell my mom, I will. Like, if this is what's gonna make us get back into this God and child of God, like, relationship, give me a sign. So he gave me a sign, and it was my sister walking into the bathroom right after I said that. Like, right after I got done praying and crying to him in the bathtub, my sister walked in the bathroom and she was like, Mom's on the phone. She wants to speak to you. Right after she said that, it was like, yeah, that's what he wants. That's what I need to do to get right with him. So she had gave me the phone. And I'm like, my mom telling me, like, oh, you okay? Like, are you feeling well? This is that. I'm like, yeah. But Mom, I need to talk to you. Like, I'm not a virgin. Like, I've been having sex. And she was like, so this isn't your first, like, this wasn't the first dude? And I was like, nah. And she was just like, she didn't ask how many, of course, but she was just like, okay, thanks for telling me. And right when the response she gave me was just so chill. I just felt like why do we lie to them? Like, honestly, I know not every mom is gonna give a good response when it comes to finding out that their kid has sex, but I regretted lying to my mom all them times when really she was chill, like she was relaxed, like she was happy I told her, she was happy I didn't lie to her. I just feel like, okay, now I can tell my mom anything. Until this day, I tell her every and anything. Like, I don't lie to her about nothing, because now I know that I can trust her with stuff, and she won't judge me because I'm her daughter. So I just felt like, okay, it was like a I love you no matter what type of thing. Like, it's okay. So I was like, okay, we're good. And after that, I felt mad relieved, like a boulder was lifted off my shoulders, because I wasn't lying about it anymore. It was like, I just felt relaxed again, like, it's okay. After that, I never tried to call the dude back and tell him anything. I never tried to do any of that. It was just straight, it is what it is. It is what it is. If you were the one, you're gonna get your karma, and that's that. Other than that, I can't do anything about it. It's here, can't get rid of it. Boss up, live your life, keep it going. Because honestly, you can't do nothing about it. Boss up, do you. Like, go about your life. It's alright. So that's what I had did. Like, that's what all I did. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna just do me. It's okay. Just chill. So that's what I had did. I just went about my life or whatever. I'm trying to make sure ain't nothing else I missed out, because I don't want to forget about nothing. Like, I don't want to forget about saying anything. I want to put everything out there. So just give me a minute to think, so I can make sure I like fill y'all in on everything. I don't know if I showed y'all the cream that they gave me. I think I did though. But this is the cream that they give you. It's like lidocaine. They gave me that to heal when I went up there. Anything else before I show y'all these messages and talk about the group chat? Nah, I think I'm good. Like, that's about everything, really. That's everything. So later on, eventually I got a little group chat into my, like, fast forward to this year, fast forward, I got a group chat in my DM, and I'm like, okay, what is this? And it was like, it was called Washington Boulevard. Thank you for Glowing for like giving me these messages, because I would not have these if I wouldn't have kept them, because I had deleted it, and I had like texted her and I was like, oh, can you send me them screenshots, because I deleted the chat, like I don't have them. So shout out to that girl. Like, he really chose the worst females to do grimy, because she is so sweet. Like, y'all be choosing the purest females to mess up, like, honestly. But basically, she had provided me with the screenshots, and basically it was like Surviving Washington Boulevard, and at the time, that's his street, but at the time I didn't know that was his street, because it's like I know that was his street, but it didn't click at me that was his street. Like, I don't pay attention to street names that well, and this was this year. I found out last year. But so basically, it was like Washington Boulevard. The girls are in there talking. So in my head, I'm like, yeah, this is just another, like, it's just another one of them, like another chat that pop up. But you know, like them chats that pop up into your thing, but you don't really you ignore it, because people just be making random group chats on Instagram. That's what I thought it was. So she had sent me the messages, and it was basically like oh no, okay, I had got out of there. I had like moved it, I had ignored it, and then that's when I had got back in there, or like it popped up again. So I got in there and I'm scrolling, and I'm like, this is about him, bye. Like, nah, I got rid of him, I'm trying to get rid of this too. So I had got rid of it, and when I had got rid of it, I was like, God, if you want me to tell these females about how this dude how this dude gave me herpes, tell me. Because although I wasn't sure, it was still a gut feeling. It was still an intuition thing. We have intuition, and I listened to it. But obviously, I didn't listen to it this time. I didn't listen to it this time. But basically, it was like my intuition was telling me that it was him. So I was like, and this just popped up. Yeah, God, you want me to tell them this story about how he gave me HSV? Let it pop up again. Because, you know, when you delete a request, it never pops up again. But it popped up again. Like, one time I had went to work, got off work, went home. I had checked my mom's phone, and it popped up again. So I'm like, yeah, he wants me to talk about it. I'm gonna put the messages over here so that y'all can like read them for yourself, because I know I be stuttering and like all of that. So if y'all want, y'all can pause and read them yourself if y'all need to. But I'm gonna read it out loud as well. But basically, it was like 15 girls in this group chat talking about the same guy, talking about blank, like talking about him, and he was like, I mean, they were like basically. It's like 6 screenshots, but I'm gonna just go ahead and read them for y'all so that y'all know what they are. Okay. So the first girl say, advise this part because it's some cussing. I know I was cussing before, but it's not as much cuss words as this. Like these was going ham. Okay, so basically this is what they were saying. I'm gonna go like this so that I can still read it. And it don't look like I'm reading the messages on this, so I'm gonna just read it out here. Fucked up my damn pH balance, bitch. Bro, literally. That's 2 girls right there. Fucked up my damn pH balance, bitch. And then another girl said, bro, literally. And then another girl said, I mean, the same girl that was like, fucked up my pH balance, she was like the fuck? He tried to cover it up with cologne. I wonder if he showers. Ain't enough cologne in the world for a man without a towel to shower with. I've never heard him say, like, I'm about to hop in the shower or none of that. On God. I want to know how often he brushes them things under his grill. So the dude I'm talking about, he does have grills. So when they said that, it was like, boy, you've been messing with all these females all this time? Like, I'm a fool. Like, dead ass, draw the little clown face on your motherfucking face. Like, that's how I'm feeling. Like, clown. Like, that, the little nose, yeah. Feeling like a clown. Anyway, let's just keep going. The next screenshot, it said, I thought it was just me. No, it was him. Musted, dusted, and crusted. Cannot be trusted. And then another girl was like, I was like, damn, my pH keeps fucking up around him. That's fucking crazy. Oh God, I was like, okay, my coochie don't stink. What the fuck did you do to me? And then that's when another girl said, he's sick as fuck, gonna fuck up my pH balance, then demand to eat me out. Laugh my ass off. No, literally. Y'all, I'm glad I ain't let him dirty grills. I'm glad I ain't let them dirty grills near this pussy. That's what another girl said. Let's keep going. Man, the only reason I never said anything about him was because I was scared to see the back of my hair on someone's story or Twitter. Him before. I'm gonna have your legs shaking. Him after. Did I do a good job? Because I feel like I did a good job. Oh God, he tried to give his phone out and I was like, yeah, no. And then that's when another girl said, my dumb ass let him. Y'all, not I. Oh no, she was like, yeah, not I. And then that's when another girl said, he got so many pics, like, I'm in some shit if he's feeling more petty than usual. Fuck, if he posted, lock his ass up for revenge porn. That's a case. At least he have his own place in jail and furniture. That's what another girl said. Let's keep it going. Child porn. OMG. Yeah, how old are you? 17. Y'all, this girl was 17, bro. When I think about it, child porn for real. Like, how old are you when you messing with this 17-year-old? Let me not talk, though, because I was 17 back then when I first got diagnosed with herpes. I was 17 messing with him back, like, last year. So now that I'm looking at this, I'm like, 17. Ugh, ouch. But anyway, let's keep going. Honey. That's what somebody else said. Like, baby, you 17? But let's keep it going. Yeah, that's how I met him, LOL. My first mistake. Did anyone get tested after him? Yeah, I had BV. BV? That's like somebody questioning, like, what is BV? BV is bacterial diagnosis. But let's get into the chat. Bacterial diagnosis, not an STD, but you can get it if a male has multiple female partners. And obviously, LOL. She said obviously in all caps, which obviously, because it was like 10, 9, 8. It was hella females in this group chat, like talking about this one guy. and it was like called Surviving Washington Boulevard. Like, I'm gonna cross out their faces and names when I put their screenshots up, because honestly, I don't know who felt comfortable knowing. Like, I just don't want to. I don't want to hit no boundaries. Like, if I want to tell my story, I'm gonna tell my story. But if they don't want to tell theirs, then it's okay. I don't want to force anything. Yeah, like, hide their identities. Damn. Well, fun time for a doctor appointment. Last night I saw. I felt weird, but I was like, absolutely not. Mind y'all, this whole time that I'm reading these messages, I was not in any of these because, like I said, I didn't want to say anything unless it popped back up and God was like, yeah, you need to tell them your story. So it popped back up and I was like, okay, this is God telling me talk. So I got to talking and I was like, hello guys, I've been debating on texting in this group chat. When I first found this chat, I was so confused on what this chat was until I scrolled and saw. I automatically deleted this chat and kept it pushing because last time I seen him was about 2 weeks ago. I mean, text not seen, sorry. Was about 2 weeks ago. I blocked him on everything and cut all ties. I met him in the 7th grade, Barbara. We started having sex 2 years ago. My name is Jordan Holder, and when I was 17, 2 days after having sex with him, I was diagnosed with herpes. Yes, I'm blocking his name out because it's not even, The humble thing to do is let him get his karma in peace and not put his identity out there. And yeah, like, I would just rather do this the humble way than the petty way. And I was diagnosed with herpes. He didn't know. I'm now 18. It's been a year living with it. And honestly, I've learned to let it go and be happy. This chat isn't going to make any of y'all feel better. If anything, this would make him happy knowing he's being talked about by so many females. As sick as he is, this isn't going to do any of y'all justice. I say boss up, get money, and never speak to him again. This isn't going to help any of you. If you're just trying to get your trauma out, more power to you. But this is just going to make him happier knowing he's being talked about. Till this day, he does not know I have herpes. I never told him I was young, so I just continue having sex with him, scared to bring it up, so naive. Herpes isn't contagious without an outbreak. I take medication for it, so I'd advise y'all to get checked. But I'm sure y'all are safe. And he threw my pH off as well, all the time too. And I'd tell him, and he'd just say, not my fault, I'm clean. So I'd assume that he didn't give it to me. I got it from a partner way before him. Till this day, I'm not sure who gave it to me. Oh, okay. Till this day, I'm not sure who gave it to me, herpes, because they say you can get it at any moment, even after too much. But 2 days after fucking is when I got diagnosed. I was only 17 at the time. Girl, I'm so sorry. I'm glad you've come to terms with it, but you did not deserve that. Mind y'all, this is the 17-year-old that I was just talking about, 17 that said child porn. Yeah, this is her. Since I assume it's the right thing to do, even though I didn't plan on telling anyone, I went to the doctor about a month after the last time me had sex, and I got a regular STD scan and examination. I don't have any regular STDs. I'm still on medicine for it now, but I honestly think herpes would make more sense. Now, if y'all don't know what HPV is a human pillow model or something. Like, it's pillow something, but it's a virus that, like, warts and blisters and stuff pops up in various parts of your body, like vagina, boobs, anything. Like, that's what HPV is. But she was like, but honestly, I think herpes would make more sense. So she must be getting them on her genitals. I said, I've always thought I was the disgusting one. I'm crying because I had a feeling that I got it from him. I just didn't know. I'm just not finding out after a year. And then that's when another girl said, I didn't plan on telling him or anyone, but y'all deserve to know just in case. Thank you so much. You're strong, girl. That's what I had told her. And then that's when she had texted back again, and she was like, thank you, but I'm never mentioning this to anyone ever again. When she said that, it was dead like a... That's sad that this 17-year-old girl can't share her story because society has this stigma that you're a whore if you have it. Y'all know Nyology, Shania, I think it's Brigham or something like that. She got herpes and she was a virgin. You can literally get it at any time. It doesn't matter how many bodies you got. If you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 100, 19, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13. It does not fucking matter. It does not matter. You can get it. Stop trying to put a stigma on every fucking thing. And we gotta start going with our guts. Like, I honestly really wish that I went with my gut, my intuition. Because my intuition was telling me, yeah, it was him. But I just didn't want to put blame on someone that didn't have it. Like, I was messing with him for 2 years. You don't want to think, oh, this guy I met in the 7th grade, he did that to me. No, you don't want to think that. I never want to think about, like, that's just horrible. Like, I wouldn't even think of that. But you can honestly get it at any time, any moment. Like, it's crazy how there's a stigma on herpes and everybody just runs with it. Nobody wants to get educated on it. Y'all make people feel so embarrassed and disgusting for having it. But then when they don't speak out and you get it, you look dumb. You look mad dumb. Like, we really have to start talking to each other about our stories and these diseases. Because the more we don't speak out about it, the more it is going to spread. Your daughter is going to get it. Your son is going to get it. Like, you never freaking know. And although boys, girls, ladies, boys do not get the same symptoms as we do when we have an STD. All they get is discharge. That's all they get. They get discharge. They don't get pimples. They don't get none of that. Like, not headaches, weak body. They don't get none of that. All they get is a different discharge. Because they have a pole. And we have creases. We have to be way more careful. So unless the dude give you his papers and they say, yeah, you're good, don't do anything with that person. Like, we just having sex with anybody, sneaky links, all that other stuff. Stop doing, like, I really wish I would have had this knowledge that I have in my brain now back then. Because I would have been moving way smarter. I swear I would have. Like, we really got to start doing our research. We have to. And stop just going off of what society says. I thought that they misdiagnosed me because the internet pictures didn't look like what was on my vagina. Like, the internet doesn't know everything either. So you can't even do your research on there. You really just gonna have to start letting people feel comfortable enough in their skin to talk to people about this stuff. Because the only reason it's not, like, it's so common. 195 million in the United States have it. And y'all want to make it seem like it's disgusting, it's this, it's that. Why is it so common? Did y'all know a cold sore on your lip? When you get a cold sore on your lip, do you know that is a sign of herpes? That's herpes too. It's a herpes. Yeah. They just call it a cold sore and not a herpes. It's just so common. And we got to stop acting like we're too good to know about other things. Stop bullying people, making them not feel comfortable enough in their skin to speak out about stuff that really matters. Sneaky links is cute all the way up until you walking around with an STD. All because you didn't want to listen to somebody bring out their story. You wanted to bully them instead. We really just got to start talking to each other, and society needs to stop putting a stigma on every fucking thing. Because herpes is nothing like y'all make it seem. You really don't know nothing until you do your research. Oh, herpes is contagious all the time. No, it isn't. It's not contagious all the time. It's only contagious when you have an outbreak. Nobody knew that. You know why y'all didn't know that? It's because y'all don't give people the comfort in their own skin. Like, y'all don't let people feel comfortable in their own skin to talk about these situations. The stuff that really matters. But that's about it. That's my story time. And I really hope people take this as info. I hope they take this as a warning. I hope they take this as just an eye-opener, a lesson. Like, I wish I would have had this somebody with herpes post a video, talk about it before I found out I had herpes. I wish I would have saw a video of somebody talking about it before I found out I had herpes, because I would have been way more cautious. Just take this as a lesson and not one of those, oh, she just want attention, oh, she just needs this, she just wants that. No, take it as a lesson. Take this as information. Put it in your brain. Be wiser, because it's not a joke. And I used to joke about it all the time. I think I manifested it on myself. Because before, when dudes used to try to talk to me, I used to be like, oh, I got herpes. Dead ass. I used to tell them I had herpes and never clear it up. Never. I bet they still walking around, still thinking, like, I bet they were still walking around thinking I had herpes. Like, yeah, most definitely. I used to tell people that. So now, what you speak into existence, it exists. Like, it will happen. Use your words carefully, because what you speak of, it's gonna happen. What you say, it can possibly happen. That's why they say watch what you say, because you really can manifest shit into your life. Being negative can make your life negative. Being positive can make your life positive. Like, it's just a lot that I've learned over the year that I done lived with this HSV, this herpes. There's so much that I've learned, and I wish I would have knew it before I had to get it. But now, since I got it and I can't change it, you can wish all you want, but you can't change it. So what I'm gonna do is use it to help other people, use it to educate other people, and get them to protect themselves, get educated on certain things. Because the more y'all make people feel uncomfortable in their body for talking about this disease, the more they're not gonna talk about it. And the more they don't talk about it, the more it's gonna get spreaded around. Because nobody wants to go, hey babe, so if you want to be with me, you have to know I have herpes. Oh, you have herpes? I know how to move with you now. I know how to be safe with you now. I know how, see? But y'all don't make people comfortable in that. Y'all don't let people comfortable in their own skin to be like, oh, I got herpes. Y'all don't let people be comfortable. Y'all bully people. Y'all make people feel disgusting. Y'all have this stigma that's disgusting and it's nasty and you're a whore. When really anybody can fucking get it. You could get it tomorrow and not even know who gave it to you. Like, it's dead like that. Stop taking it as a joke, because it's not a joke. It's serious. And you don't think it's serious because you don't got it. So you don't think, oh, this is a sensitive topic. Let me move this way with this topic. Y'all don't think like that. But yes, that is my story time. I really hope y'all take this as wisdom. Wisen. Like, wise. I don't know if wisen a word, but we going to make it a word. Wisen up your brains. Get it together. Take this as information. Thank you for hearing my story. If you stay to the end, I really appreciate you. Thank you. And I'm glad that I could like share my story and use it for good, because honestly at first I was lost. I didn't know what to do. I just felt like, what was my purpose? And now I know what my purpose is. It's to let people know about it and share it.